Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back. Big day, episode 170. Yeah, gonna look at a couple problems again today. Just like usual. One second. Okay. Yeah, let's get straight into it. Let's see. Leecode, right? Let's check out our daily problem today. Oh, jeez. Shit, dude. So I'm not used to Windows, but okay. Let's put our Leecode over here. Okay. Did we do this yesterday? Oh, this is a new one. Alright, I guess we'll take a look at this problem today. Let's go 62% acceptance rate, so shouldn't be too bad. Let me grab a water really quick. Okay. Grab my water, dude. Gotta stay hydrated, man. Okay. Maximum score from removing substrings. You're given a string S and two integers X and Y. You can perform two types of operations any number of times. Remove substring AB and gain X points. Remove substring AB and gain X points. For example, when removing AB from ZABB, it becomes ZXBAE. Remove substring BA and gain Y points. For example, when removing BA from, it becomes CABXE. Return the maximum number of points you gain after applying those operations on S. I feel like that's a pretty straightforward problem. We got S, X, and Y. X is equal to 4, Y is equal to 5. Remove AB and gain X points. Remove Y and gain Y points, right? So, I guess to begin with, we got to look for AB or BY. So, we got BC here, so you can't do anything. We got BB, we got BA here, right? BA. Right? Then we got... So I guess we got to kind of think about how we want to remove this, right? I'm tired today, dude. Holy shit. Alright. Trying to think here. What's the best way to go about this problem, right? Maybe we can make this a little bigger. So really, how do we want to go about this, right? They say remove the BA, underline, and CAB. Now this becomes this, right? So you see BA here, right? And then they go AB, and then they go BA, and then they go BA. So I'm thinking here, they're removing from the all the way on the far right. Is that a coincidence, or are they doing that on purpose? I guess they don't really show in the other example. Would I get it wrong if I was removing from this end? Would it be the same if I removed BA here, then I removed BA, AB? Let's see, right? If I had CBBB blah blah blah, right? We remove, I'm gonna think about this, right? I'm gonna try and do this humanly, right? We remove this BA, right? What do we get here? C, D, B, C, B, A, B, A, B, right? And since we removed a BA, what do we get? We got 5, right? So let's keep track of that. We got 5. So then let's remove this one again. Let's remove this BA here. C, D, B, C, A, B, A, B. We get a 10. Now we got A, B here. C, D, B, C, A, B. We got, that's 4, right? So that'd be 14. We got A, B here again. C, A, sorry, C, D, these are looking like A's, B, C. We get 18. They got 19 here. So maybe that's the way to go about it, right? Going from the end. I'm thinking most likely a sliding window would probably be the best here. A sliding window looking for specifically these two. You don't see these two, then you go to the next value. Maybe some sort of modified sliding window. No, it's a stack problem. Okay. It wasn't bi-weekly contest 43. So this does have a rating. I guess we'll take a look at that later. Once we solve the problem, but... So what do they have here? They have a stack greedy string. I'm trying to search this up. It's hard for me to explain what exactly is a greedy problem. A greedy problem refers to a computational problem where the optimal solution is found by making the best choice at each step without considering the overall impact of the choices of the final solution. Okay. So I think the best choice would be going from the right, using a stack here, right? A stack, we would add all the values and we'd be able to look at the top value, right? So maybe that would work actually, a stack. Maybe you could put all these items inside of a stack, right? Let's have our stack here. Let's do a different color, let's do a green, right? We have our stack here, right? Let's implement all our values here, right? Inside our stack. So we got C, we got D, B, C, B. Jeez, we're gonna need more room, dude. Let's make a huge stack here, dude. Huge stack. C, D, B, CDB, CBB, 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 AAA, BAB, AAA, B, B, A, B. Okay. How do we want to go about this? Well, we'd access the top value, right? So I guess if we'd pop our top value, right? If it is a B or an A, then we want to keep it, right? And then we'd pop our next value. If it's an A, then we know we found something, right? BA. What is BA? That's considered 5, right? See our BA, we've popped these two, right? Then we get rid of it, right? We reset our string when we found something, right? We see BA again. We've got BA. That's 5 as well, right? We'd pop from here, right? Now we see an A, right? Okay. I guess we need a way to see another A, right? So we don't see another A here. So therefore, we'd pop this. It wouldn't work. We'd see this one, AB. AB, right? That would be 4. Oh, no, but we would keep that. Wait, let's go back, right? This triple A we need to keep, right? Because we see the BA, we see the BA again. We get to this A, right? AA is not going to work here, right? We're going to get AA here. AA, right? But that's obviously not a valid string. So how would we go about doing that? I guess there's going to be multiple edge cases here with the stack, but I'm trying to think how we could handle that case. Let's kind of go ahead with the code and kind of think about it a little bit. All right, we have our stack here. Let's like add each value to our stack, each value to stack, right? So for char in S, char dot append, sorry, stack dot append char, right? Let's print our stack. Alright, so we got our stack, right? So now we want to think about our algorithm, right? So we would go, okay, well, while stack, right? So while there's something in our stack and stack -1. The reason why I want to do this in Python first is just to kind of think about the problem. I'm more familiar with the syntax right now, so just to kind of get a feel of how I'm thinking about it, because I don't really know how to deal with these cases. And stack -1.
Yo.
Oh shit, you're back already?
Yeah, I live like 2 minutes away from
dude, that was quick as fuck.
Yeah. Let me tune in.
Tell me what you think about this. This is the way I'm trying to think about solving it. Actually, I should probably start this up. Okay. Local Windows debugger. Yes. LPP. Oh my gosh, dude, what the fuck? Whoops. CMD. LPP. Is it OPP? I'm in the wrong source file. I should be in
Can
the
you share your
file.
screen, by the way?
Yeah, I will. Hang on. Okay. Okay. Fetch 1717. Shit, what am I looking for? Okay, it looks like
this one looks like it imported correctly.
Yeah. So this is my thought process, bro. Let me know what you think, right? So this is the problem, right? Maximum score from removing substrings, right? I guess you can read it yourself, but I guess I'll read it too. You're given a string S, and you're given two integers X and Y, and you can perform two types of operations on the number of times, right? We can look for a substring AB, or look for a substring BA, right? AB gives a certain amount of points, and then BA gives a certain amount of points. That's literally the question. And we have to return the maximum amount of points you get from applying the above operations on S, right? And we're given X, right? X is if we see AB, that's 4 points, and we're given Y, which is BA, which is 5 points. Right? Pretty much we need to return the maximum amount of points that we can get from this, right? Looking at these test cases, right, I kind of started to get the intuition that they were using they were starting from the end of the string, right? They weren't starting from the front of the string. Copy. Hey, bro. What's up, dude? How you doing, man? How's your day been, bro? Say hi to me. I said, hi, dude. What's up, bro? How you doing? I kind of realized that they were going and using the end of the string, and I kind of went through it, and I saw if you went from the beginning of the string, you wouldn't. Adam Lipson, hey dude, what's up, bro? Good to see you again, man. Nice to see you around again, Adam. Yeah, so they went from the end of the string instead. I looked at the topics, and I realized that they were using a stack, and they were using a greedy solution. I assume the greedy part of this algorithm is starting from, instead of starting from the front, you would start from the end, and I could see why probably a stack would work here, right? You'd add everything to the stack, and then you start popping, right, from the end, and pop through the entire
Right.
string.
Yeah.
So I kind of simulated what I had here, right? And I'm thinking here, like, maybe would a better way be taking every single A-B combination, right? And you could look at this string. Instead of creating a stack and going through each value, we look at the string and we take all the A-B values from it, right? So we would store an array like whatever, just the A-B values, right? And then we keep building it from there, right? And do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I think so.
Galactic
Another
Positive.
idea.
What's up, dude? Good to see you again, bro. I haven't seen you in a while, dude. I haven't seen you the past couple days. What have you been up to? Sorry, what'd you say?
And like, I guess my immediate idea. And this might be like a bit naive a solution, but you could iterate through the string. So you could determine, like, okay, which one is bigger for this function call, x or y, right? And then you iterate through the string once to remove all of like the largest values. So like, let's say AB is 4 and BA is Y. You start by removing as many BAs as you can, and then just go through it again and remove all the ABs since they give you less.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Can you explain that again? Sorry, can you say that again?
Yeah. So like you see how you have like example 1 S equals CD B and so on.
Yeah.
Like so in that case, Y is bigger than X.
Yeah.
Right. So Y is associated with BA.
Yeah.
So maybe you could go through and remove all of the BAs you find, and then remove any of the remaining ABs, since like you want to get as many ABs as you can, right?
Yeah.
Or BAs rather, since they're worth 5.
But you think like what I'm saying by like putting each of the ABs inside the stack is probably a better way than actually putting like C, D, B, but I mean all these bullshit values that I don't really give a fuck about, right?
Yeah, I think that could also, yeah, because like realistically, if you see one of those, you're probably just gonna pop it and continue. You won't like increment your score.
But I guess that wouldn't wait. Because no, actually, I don't think that would work, right? Because we will get an incorrect. What if like we have a B here, right? This B can't be used at all. Like it's covered in between a C and a D. Like we cannot use this B at all. But instead, if I was just to add the B's and A's, then
That's true.
we get an incorrect answer, right?
Yeah, so you'd probably have to load it all into the stack realistically. So
Okay.
I guess like what would you be your like, so okay, so you have everything in the stack, right? So then how are you gonna process it now? You're gonna go from it, you said backwards, right? And
Well, yeah,
then
you'd pop from the top. I was thinking, right, because that's you going backwards, right? So popping from the top, we're be going backwards. Sorry, hang on, Galactic said something. Yeah, I'm super busy these days. Oh, sorry, bro. That sucks, man. I feel like everyone's busy, bro. Low key, but appreciate that you're here, dude. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, I think popping from the back is probably the best way to go about it. I don't know. That's
so you would pop B and then you would pop A, right? And then you would treat that as AB, right?
yeah, I would assume, yeah.
But then wouldn't you technically instead want to take like the BA, right? Or am I not
Oh, that
thinking
is
about
true.
it
Yeah,
correctly?
yeah. I didn't see that there. Yeah, like here we have AB, but you can see in this case here they don't take the AB, they take the BA.
Yeah, and then that would create an AB that you could then take, right?
Yeah.
So I don't really know the best way to go about it. I mean, this is an interesting problem. Like, I guess my first intuition would just be like, this is probably really naive, but just go through the whole string and take all of, like, in this case, the BAs and just remove them and increment your score, and then go back through it and see if like I guess you've created any or something and remove them, and then finally do like a processing step where you do that X's since they're like the smaller value. But I don't know. That seems like it could get quite complex pretty quickly.
Yeah, and
I don't know. This is an interesting problem.
yeah, this is the daily problem, but note that there's always an optimal to take one type of the substring before another. I mean, that's what you were saying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You
like
can
you
use a
always
stack
want
to handle erasures.
So erasures is just like erasing, I guess. Like, oh, so maybe you add what you erased to the stack and then count them or something at the end. I don't know.
Yeah. Abhay Tiwari, all the best, bud. I am doing algorithms live daily almost every day. Let's go, Abhay, dude. Legendary, bro. We're on the same grind, dude. We're on the same grind. That's cool, though, dude. Best of luck to what you're doing as well, dude. Hope the best for you, bro.
Can you scroll back up to the test cases real quick?
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm just trying to think about how to handle this because I'm not really can't really go ahead and start doing something until I kind of know how to.
yeah. So look, like if you just do it in your head, like on the first example, you see, okay. So just go through the string from left to right, and then you mentally remove, like you see the first BA. It's like the fifth or sixth, fifth indice.
So I've added the string to the stack. This is the full string at the stack, right?
Well, I'm just not sure if we even need a stack for that.
You don't want to use a stack? You don't think so?
I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong. Just like the way that I'm about to explain things does not use a stack per se. Because like if you copy S to Excalibur.
Copy. I have it over here, but hang on. Let me.
Okay.
I'll copy it again. Oh. I have a job, but want to improve. Wishing you the best too. Great to connect with others striving for growth. Yeah, bro. You too, dude. Thank you for the support, bro. Okay, here we go. Here's
like we could keep like a what is it, 2 pointers or sliding window, one of the approaches, and you could be like, okay, we have CD, DB, BC, CB, BB, and then BA. Right? BA is the first one that we see in our list, and then if we remove that, we create another BA, right?
So we remove this part here, right? And we would go CD, BC, B, A, B, A, B. Then you're saying this BA right here.
Yep. So then that'd be 10 points, and then we remove that and
C,
continue.
D, B, C, A, B, A, B.
And then you see we have a BA now, right? So that would be our 15 points.
A BA here, yeah.
And then we would have our AB, which would give us our 4 points, and that would be the 19 that we were looking for.
Oh, shit, wait, oh, whoops. It would be AB, right? And then the last one here being the 4, and then we get C, D, B, C.
Yep.
And we get 19.
Yep. So that's like the brute force approach, I would imagine. Like that's the very simple brute force approach. I guess like as you're going through, I don't know really, I guess, how to solve it more more efficiently than that. But maybe it won't have a time limit exceeded ultimately.
Dude, I'm so bad at drawing 9s, dude. Oh my god. There we go. 19. Are you saying like using that, doing a sliding window on that, or are you just like n squared, or what are you like saying?
Yeah, I mean, could you apply a sliding window to that? I mean, I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'm sure you probably could. Yeah, I mean, you could probably do a sliding window of size 2 and keep iterating of size 2 through it.
Yeah,
Get
and
the size
ultimately,
2.
like, it would be O of like n times m, where m is like the number of iterations needed to remove all of them. And I'm sure that you could do some sort of cache-in so that you have to do less work in the future. But I'm not sure. Maybe start with, like, if you can't, I guess, like, what is your idea with the stack? Like, did you have a full idea with the
I
stack?
didn't really have a full idea. I just kind of, that was like my first thinking, but then I slowly came to the point where I realized I'd have to deal with, like, you know, many edge cases, you know. Trying to think here. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I was thinking maybe popping from the stack until you see an A and a B, right? Until you see an A, right? And then you keep the
Like,
A.
if we pop from the stack, like, okay, so like the key insight I think for that is, if you notice, like, we'd restart every time we removed with our algorithm, because we are potentially creating new pairs of BAs and ABs. So like, if you're popping from the stack, then you might lose some of that information.
Yeah.
And I guess I just don't know how it'd be more efficient per se, like, to use a stack in this way, at least. Like, I assume the way that they're doing it is they're probably adding the removed things to a stack or something, and then just adding up the score in the end. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess that would just be like my initial thought, is just doing it the way that we drew out down there, and then trying to maybe optimize from there.
Okay. Let me think about this. So I guess would it be crazy to say like 2 separate sliding windows, right? One to find BAs, and then another one to find ABs. Do you think that would be bad in a way?
Well, let's think about it, I guess. So like, how would you write it? Like, would you have to reset the windows?
I would write it
whenever-
first. I'd probably just do literally 2 separate sliding windows, or maybe we can make a helper function with a sliding window or something. Look for the we look for all BAs, right? So we remove this. Oh yeah, but then you're right. Yeah, that comes back to the point where you create new BAs, but then you'd pass it, right?
Yeah.
Shit, dude. S length could be 1 to the 10 to the power of 5, so I don't think, like,
I mean, just start with the brute force approach, and like, I don't know. It's really difficult to like think of things with premature optimizations if you don't have like the, you know, like the trick for this problem figured out, I think.
okay.
Because you might just end up like, you know, confusing yourself if you try to optimize, you know, before it's actually working. Like that's just the case with like all software, I guess. Like, always go with like the simplest solution possible, and then if you need to, optimize from there.
Okay.
Don't you have Python copied?
What's up?
Did you copy Python? It looked like you were about to take your Python code and paste it in Visual Studio.
No,
I don't know.
I didn't. No.
Okay.
Trying to think. Oh my god, dude. Hang on, my roommate's calling me. 1 second, I probably need to answer this.
Okay.
I'll be back in a second. Oh, fuck. back, dude. Sorry. He called me. I kept accidentally ending the phone call. But
Yeah.
then I tried to call him back. And he didn't answer.
I guess it wasn't that important then.
Yeah, I don't know. Vera, greetings. What's up, dude?
Like, okay. Realistically, I guess like what you could do, like what I would do is just create some sort of helper function, right? That would just remove patterns, and then you can either pass it like you could pass it the string of pattern to look for, right? So you have like a remove pattern function, and you just pass in like the string you want to remove, and then how much that string is worth.
Okay. Okay. I should probably do this in C++, right? Maximum gang. Is this the one we're looking at? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, this is the right one. So we make a helper function, right?
Yeah.
Public int maximum gang. We make it outside of this, right?
Yeah, you can't make sub-functions.
I love the glasses, dude. Thank you, bro. Thank you. People tell me I look like Harry Potter in them, dude. So, thank you, bro. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I do love circle glasses, bro. So, kind of fit me well. And they're very comfortable. Low key. Okay. So what's our return type for this function, you think?
Like a string. Like you'd want to return the string that, like the result, right? Because like each time you call the function, it's going to modify the string. Like you could pass the string by const reference and then return the result string, essentially.
Const reference. Okay. A city string, we can call this lol. Harry Potter would be flattered to be compared to you, GNG. Oh, dude, let's go, bro. Thank you, dude. I don't know, dude. I'm not that goated, but thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment.
You just got like remove function, remove pattern or something.
Remove pattern. We want to pass in what our current string, right?
Yeah, and this is where you'd want to pass it in by const reference.
Const reference. Okay. Const reference meaning what, the string that we're modifying on?
We're just gonna read from it, right? Yeah.
So we're not actually gonna remove anything from it? Is that why we're passing in const reference? Is that your thought behind it, or?
Well, I assume that like we'd build a result string or something like that. Or actually, just do it however you'd want to do it ultimately. Like if you want to operate on the string that's being passed in, then yeah, go for it. Just pass it. Ultimately, though, just pass it by just pass it by a reference, a non-const reference, just so we don't copy the string.
So we don't copy the string.
Like ultimately, if you're gonna pass it by reference and not const reference, you don't need to return a string, right? Because you're just going to modify it in place. It'd just be a void function at that point.
Ah, dude, yeah, it's hard to think about. Hard to think about this. Okay, constant reference. Reference is that's an ampersand, right?
Yeah. So like const std string and then reference.
Std string. Reference. S. And so we pass in our string, and then the string we're looking for, the string we want to remove, right?
Yeah, you could pass in. Yeah, you could either pass in like a string here, or like two chars, like char first and char A and char B, something like that. I guess yeah, like since they are A and B, it'd be like first and second.
Char first, char second, and then what? Some sort of score, right?
Yeah. And you just pass this in as an, yeah. Okay, cool. So then now, like, the string is going to, like, when we call this function, it's going to, okay, so this function is going to take in the string, the input string, and then look at first and second, and then that's going to be either BA or AB, and it's going to have a score for that.
Okay.
And then at the end, it's going to return the result string,
Yeah.
right? Which is, it's essentially like the reconstructed string without what we removed from it.
Okay, wait, hang on. Let me write this down just because I want to have the right idea about what we're trying to do. And this guy says, I have a friend that also good at programming too. He's also on intermediate level when I'm still struggling with strings, variable value, F string, not true, etc. Keep going, bro. Keep grinding, dude. Just keep putting in that consistency and that effort, dude. It always pays off, bro.
Did I just get called an intermediate? My God, no, I'm kidding. You could also like maybe use it.
Hi,
the
Rena.
stack
How
here.
you doing? A lot of things I haven't seen in that. Welcome, Rena. How are you? Yeah, how are you, Rena? Legendary, bro. Okay, so we were saying here, right? Let me make sure I'm on the same page as you, right? So you're saying we make a helper function, right?
Yeah.
And this helper function, we can call it to look for BAs first, I would assume, right? And then look for ABs. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Right. Well, yeah. So like here, like I'm thinking about it, like we'd have two calls to this function, right? Like we'd call this function once to remove like the first set of patterns, right? So like we'd say like string result equals remove patterns. You pass in S, you pass in A, you pass in B, and then you pass in like the score that they're worth, right? And then at the end of that, the resulting string would then contain only BAs, right?
The resulting string would contain only BAs. So you're
Because
saying
we're
like,
removing ABs first.
why we remove ABs first? I thought our whole thing was removing BAs.
So, well, that's only in this case, right?
Right.
And one thing you could do that would be pretty smart would be to, sorry, my brother just walked in. You could swap the
Morning,
value,
Hareem.
like you could ensure that, like, for example, X is always bigger than Y, right? So like if X is less than Y, you could swap them so that we could always do it in a consistent order.
Okay. Honestly, you've lost me a little bit, bro. Could you say that again?
Well, so like in order to have like determinism, right? We would always, you could choose just like one to always do first, like because we have two cases here, right? We have AB and BA,
Yeah.
and one of them is going to be worth X, and one of them is going to be worth Y. We could just make it to where, for example, AB is always greater than BA just by swapping X and Y if like X is less than Y.
Okay.
So like in our first case, for example, right? Like if you just look at an example, like example 1, X is 4 and Y is 5.
Yeah.
Right? So in that case, we would swap. So like let's say that we're going with the approach that we just always want to remove ABs first.
Oh,
right?
okay. I understand what you're saying. Oh my god. Okay, now I understand what you're saying. So you're saying that we look first if X or Y is worth more, and then we decide if we want to remove our ABs first or our BAs first.
Well, no, not quite.
Oh.
So I'm saying like, okay, X is associated with AB and Y is associated with BA. So in order to make things simple on ourselves, we could just posit that X will always be bigger than Y. And if it's not, you just swap them like before anything.
Okay.
So like in our first example, right? Like X is 4, Y is 5.
Yeah.
Right? So then if in our algorithm we always want to remove ABs first, then you would swap X to be 5 and Y to be 4. Does that make sense?
Not really, bro. You not really.
Okay.
No.
Wait, no, just
I'm-
approach it in the way that you were gonna approach it. Or I guess here, I can also try to like share my screen if you want.
Sup, I decided to start Leecoding because I saw your stream last time. Dude, let's go, dude. They're fun to do sometimes. Hello, Varo. Thanks, man. Leecoding. Need to search that later. You're welcome, Rena. Let's go, dude. Leecode's fun. I mean, when you're killing it, but when you're not, it can be kind of AIDS, I guess. But
Okay, so what's the function actually called? Like,
it's
what is it?
called
Maximum gain? Yeah.
yeah, maximum gain. Yeah.
Maximum gain. Okay,
Yeah,
so it takes in a string, s and x and y. And then like what I'm saying is this, right? So again, just to like re-explain, AB is always associated to x and BA is always associated with y. This is like 100% true, right?
Yeah.
Like just based on the constraints of the problem. So what I'm saying also, like there's gonna be more here, but down here we could say like score is equal to 0, and then you'd have string like result or something equals remove patterns.
Yeah.
And then you'd pass in our current string, and then you'd pass in A, you would pass in B, you would pass in what in this case X, since X is associated with AB, right? And then you would pass in, I guess, or I guess, yeah, the best way to do this would just be to pass in some sort of reference to our score here, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, you would just say like result equals remove patterns, and then you'd pass in the result string again, and then you'd pass in B, and then you'd pass in A, and then you'd pass in Y, and then you'd pass in the score, right? And then just return score. And look, so with this current logic, right, unless X was greater than Y, this would only work like 50% of the time.
Yeah.
So what we can do is we could say if X is less than Y, you just like swap X and Y. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And
Isn't that kind of what I said earlier, though?
I can't. I guess I can't remember. I guess if it was, then yeah, go ahead with that intuition because I think that would be
No.
a good
Like
way
when
to
I said earlier that, when you were trying to explain this, and I was like, okay, like we're checking if, if X is less than Y, then we swap our score. What I was talking about that is I like doing like a pre-check to see if we want to look for our ABs or our BAs. I thought, isn't that what I was saying when you mentioned this? I don't know. Did I say that or did I say it differently? I feel like that's kind of, I mean, that's what you're doing here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just
You have-
ensuring like we're having determinism here.
Yeah, like your AB is always X, right, and your BA is always Y. But in the beginning, your X, depending on the test case, your X sometimes could be greater or your Y could be greater. So here, what we're doing is that we're making sure that we're always looking for whichever one is worth more first.
Yeah. And then well, okay, so another thing though, I guess, right, is like if we do this, then technically like our pairs would be out of order and we'd need to swap the A's and the B's in our string, right? Like we can't just swap the values here. We'd have to swap the actual A, B's in our string. So you could do something like, I don't know, char C and S, and then just check like if C is equal to A, then like C equals B, right? Because we'd also just need to swap it like this. And then else if C is equal to B, then C equals A. Right. Something like this. Because if we swap these values, we also just need to swap the actual positions of the string here. And then everything else should work. Because then we can just write this remove patterns. And then this remove patterns would just go through and remove the
remove patterns function. Are we thinking about it like in terms of a stack or no?
Yeah, you could. You totally could. Like you could have like since we first of all, right, like
Vera, my head hurt, dude. Yeah, it's tough to wrap your head around, dude. I feel like.
you could have remove patterns and then const string.
So what if we
reference
had like a stack, right? And we use shit.
So like yeah, like so you're saying like this?
Yeah, like use yeah. That's for the helper function using a stack, right? But what I'm trying to think about is how maybe we could compare. I was thinking like since we only have 2 elements, is there a way that we can kind of loop through our string, but then also compare with like I'm trying to think. I don't know, dude. This fucking shit's like throwing my head around. Hang on. Let me.
Also, are you saying that like while we're building the stack? So okay, like kind of what I'm thinking with the stack is okay. So you were saying that if we had some sort of like string here, let me go somewhere else.
Let me
So you're
put your,
saying
let me put your stream up on my other monitor. Hang on, dude.
okay.
So I can see what I'm doing while I'm also think about it too.
So like you can see this.
Yeah.
So we have like this random string, but then we have AB and BA here, right? So depending on the state of remove pattern, right? Like whatever first and second are equal to together. So like AB and BA, like while you're building the stack, you can like check, hey, okay, is the top of the stack equal to our first letter, right? And then if it is, if our current character, because okay, we're going to be going through and we're going to build the string and then like a stack, right? So we do like
Okay,
X.
I think I know what you're trying to say. So you're saying we have a for loop with the string that we've passed in, right? We initialize our stack, right? And we use a for loop to loop through our string. Obviously now if check, we check, if there's something in the stack, right? And then we check if the top value of our stack is the first element that we're looking for, and then the current value in the for loop in terms of the iteration is the value that is the B
second.
value, is the second value, right?
Yes.
That would be our if check. If it is, then we pop.
We found the pair.
We found a pair, we pop, we increment our score, and then
continue.
In the else we would just keep adding, right, until we have an A that we're looking at to compare with, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like you'd go C and then you would go A because A is like A is not our second value here. We're checking A, B, right? So then you could push B. B is our current, A is our top. We found our match here. And then we just, we don't even add B. We just pop A off the stack, like you were saying, increment our score, and then go on to D.
But will that like maintain the? I'm trying to think. Will that like maintain the order that we're like looping in? Would it? Right?
I think it would. I mean,
it's hard for me to like visualize it in my head, so it's like I don't know. I'm just trying to like think.
I think so. Yeah, well, okay, because think about it like this, right? Like if we had some sort of like B here and some sort of A here, B would then become the top of the stack, right?
Yeah.
Or like if we had A here and B here, we remove this. This is out. This is now the top of our stack, and this is our current. So then we check A, B again. Yeah, this would still maintain our order.
So what if you had like a test case where maybe, there was shit in the middle, and instead it's not gonna, how you have.
Wait here. So like, what's an example? Test case string.
Fuck. See the. guess let's say we're looking for AB, so we have CD, A,
CDA,
D,
D,
A, B, and then
CDA, DAB.
let's do another B.
And then B.
Yeah.
Here. So like this.
Yeah.
Okay. So we would add C to our stack. We would add D to our stack. We would add, and we're looking for what? AB?
We're looking for AB.
We'd add A to our stack here. And then we'd add D to our stack. We'd add A to our stack. And then we'd try to add B, but we'd notice that B is our second and A is our first. So then this would get kicked out. And then D's on top of the stack. And then we'd add B. And then we'd have C, D, A, D, B. And that would maintain our order.
C. Fuck, dude, your A's and your D's fucking confuse me.
That's my bad. Here, you should
C.
do the example on like your Excalibur.
Okay. Is this coding version of good is bad and bad is good? Llama, I am not sure what you mean by that, to be honest. You will have to re-explain. But okay. I guess let's just work with the average test case we have here, right? So we have an empty stack, right? And we're looping through this string, and for this test case here, right, we have this 4. We're looking for BAs, right?
Yes.
We see C, right? I guess we should probably make it a little bit of a bigger stack. But hang on. This is a big problem, so it's a big stack. We add C.
Yeah.
Right? We add D, right? Because none of this applies. We're looking for our first element to be a BA, right?
Yeah.
We see B, right?
Or we're technically doing AB first if we want to be like pedantic.
Are we?
Like in our algorithm, yeah. Like if we're gonna do the swapping of X and Y. Like if X is always gonna be our largest value, then we'd always do AB first.
Okay. I think you're right. I'm just gonna, yeah. Okay. We have AB. We're looking for AB, right? So we have CD, BC, CD. We'd add B to our stack, right? We would add C to our stack. We'd keep adding, right? Holy shit, we're gonna keep adding for a while. B, right?
Yeah, you should move that down maybe.
Oh my gosh, dude, I have to make this bigger, dude. Oh my god. Okay. I gotta lock in, dude. Okay.
Just do it to the right of it so you don't go like you don't have a maximum height.
So you're saying, okay, yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's just so weird to think of a stack like that. Haha, is this old riddle? It's an old riddle. Yeah, it is an old riddle, pretty much. Okay, so
I think he's saying that the good is bad and bad is good is an old riddle.
Oh, okay. C, D, B, B, B. We finally see an A, right?
Yeah, so
Which
B's
is
the
what we're
top of
looking
our
for.
stack and A's our current.
A is the top of our stack, right? Which is we're at this.
No. B's the top of our stack. A is our current that we're checking. We haven't added it to the stack yet. Essentially.
Looking for AB. Oh my gosh, dude. AB, right? So we're checking this value. We're looking at this value here, right? Our first A, right?
Yes. And that's going, yes. So that will then become, you wrote BA, so I was confused. But yeah, so that will go on top of our stack.
A will go to our stack, right?
Yeah. And so will the other two A's until we hit the B.
Then we hit the B. And we see,
And
okay, well, the top of our stack is an A, and the current value we're looking at is a B, so then we would pop, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So we'd pop this one.
You should erase it.
Right? Then we're looking at A again, right? Which then we would add as well.
Yep.
And then we would see B and pop it from the stack, right? And then we'd be left with this string.
And look, so notice how we have no ABs left?
Yeah. And then we'd run our BA on this one, right?
Yep.
This is okay, right? So then we would go, okay, well, C, D. What? And our score is currently 8, right? We popped 2 ABs. Oh no, 5, right?
Yeah, 5, because we ensured that x is always greater than y.
Right. 5. So then we would go, okay, well, C, D, B, C, B, B, and then we see A. We're looking at A, so we'd pop, right? And then
Yeah.
we're looking at A again, and we'd pop again. And then we were left
Exactly.
with this. Okay,
So we
so then we finish with 19.
Yeah. So that seems like it would work. Yeah, okay. I think that would work. It's worth a shot, I guess. So yeah, you just have some sort of like deck or a stack or something like that, the chart. I mean, realistically, you could just use an STD stack here because we don't need to have the double-ended list, or the double-ended stack rather. So yeah, that seems like it would work. And then again, since we're like,
I still cannot, dude. I don't know what it is. I cannot wrap my head around that swapping with the x is greater than whatever. But I'm gonna leave that for later. I don't know why I can't wrap my head around it, but it's just.
Well, think about it logically, right? Like if x is 4 and y is 5,
Yeah.
right? And in our algorithm, we're always removing AB first, right? So that we can have a deterministic algorithm that runs in essentially like n times 2 time. Then we would need to make sure that x, since AB is associated with x always needs to be larger than y.
Okay, yeah.
Just because we're always doing AB first. It's just the way that we're doing it.
Okay, I think I get it.
Also, in your remove pattern, I think you need to add a reference at the end for like the score or something like that.
A reference for the score.
Yeah, because like you have the string, you have the first character, the second character, and then the amount that they're worth. So right, you pass in x or y.
Oh shit! I need.
And then you need a reference to an to increment. Because like, do you see how I did this here?
Oh yeah, you're saying points and then score. In points and then what in reference score?
Yeah, because you see how I defined score on line 27 here, and then I'm passing it in. Since we're passing it in as a reference, it'll be incremented in place. So then our score on this line will then be incremented once we pass it here, and then we can just return it.
Okay. So if x is less than y, we gotta swap all the values, right? So, hang on, someone said, how long have you been coding for? I don't know, 45 minutes maybe. Maybe an hour, actually. I don't know. This has been an hour.
I think they mean how much experience do you have with coding?
Oh, shit. Oh. Probably like 4 or 5 years, probably, I would say. I don't know. I really started kind of ramping it up the past year, so. But I have about 4 to 5 years of. You forgot the else statement. I did. I will get to it. SCD swap, XY. Is that how you do it? SCD swap, yeah, XY.
Yeah,
and then what do we?
Swaps the values in place.
So this is okay. So then, well, we're gonna have to swap what we're looking for, right? Instead of a BA, we're looking for an AB, right?
Right, because if x is less than y, then we're changing those values, and then as a byproduct, like as a side effect, we need to change the ordering of our string. Otherwise, our algorithm won't work.
And why do you have a char reference?
Just because it's it's technically unnecessary. It's just a habit, I guess. Like we're not. Or actually, no. So the reason that it's a reference here is because you see how I'm swapping, like I'm changing the value of the char in the string here. So yeah, I'm setting C equal to something.
Okay. If C is equal to A, then what? C is equal to B.
Right. We're just swapping the x and y's, and as a byproduct, we're swapping the positions of the pairs in the string.
Okay. C is equal. for char. What is for C in S if C? Okay, I understand. Okay. There is an error on line 25. What are you talking about, bro? Where's the error? What are you talking about, Xenix? Kind of your picture kind of looks like a Pikachu, dude. I don't know if it is though, but
I don't know what this dude's talking about.
for char reference S and C, char reference C S.
I think he thought that you needed an else statement for your if x is less than y. That doesn't even make sense.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
So
So
I'm gonna use the question. I'll be right back.
okay. If C is equal to A, then C is equal to B. Else if C is equal to B, then we want to do. Why is this else if not working? How do you do an else if, dude? How do you do an else if in C++? I don't know. Okay, there we go. If C is equal to A. Right? Is that correct? What I'm thinking? Okay, that's good. Yeah. We swap our values here. We forgot our semicolon. We have an if here. What do we want to do here? And then we want to initialize, okay, our int score is equal to 0, right? We want to cd string result is equal to I subbed. I was behind on stream, my bad. I subbed. Oh, thank you, bro. I appreciate it, Xenix. It's okay, bro. It's totally fine. You're all good, bro. I don't know how long my delay is, but I could see that, so. So we have our result here. We want to call our remove pattern, right? We want to pass in our string s. Oh shit. Const std string s, right? Do I need to pass in all this? Maybe it's just s.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, yeah, it is just s. Okay. First. What's up, bro? Because I'm so helpful at giving you the code to write. I sub because I'm so helpful at giving you the code to write. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it, bro. First, second.
So that's where you're actually gonna want to type like the A, B, and BA, like instead
Yeah,
of first,
yeah.
second.
Oops, maybe.
So
AB,
a char
and then our
in C++
points
is single
here.
quote.
Sorry, what was that?
You need to add the single quotes around A and B.
Oh shit. AB,
There you go.
and then we have our points here. Well, we probably pass x, right? And then our score, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we want our result to be equal to.
Honestly,
remove
you don't even
patterns.
need to set result the second time. You can just call remove patterns. We don't need to update result because we're not using it afterwards.
Remove patterns. Result. A. B. Oh no, so BA, right? Whoops.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude. BA. Well, Y and score. Why are we getting this? Identify remove patterns is undefined. Remove pattern. Oops. We want to return our total. Oh, sorry, our score. Okay, so now we implement this function, right?
Yeah.
SCD stack. SCD stack is equal to stack. Is that how you define it? No, doesn't like it.
Wait, let me see your screen.
Stack is undefined.
Okay, so you need to include std stack at the top. It's just stack.
Include
in
stack.
the angle brackets. There you go.
Oh, still doesn't like it, bro.
So a stack, right? It's a templated class because it can hold many different things. So you just need to make it a stack of chars.
A stack of chars.
Then you need to remove that equal sign because, yeah. There we go.
Okay, I want to think about what we're going to do here, right? So we'd probably need... No, not a... We'd probably need like a...
Well, so like according to our examples earlier, right? We need to iterate through the string. And then
Yeah, but
we
don't
need
we need,
to...
like, what I'm saying is we need like some sort of like in points, like calculate how many... But then I realized I'm returning a string, so maybe... But, okay.
Well, we'll just reconstruct the string from the stack like after we process it.
For char... This be a reference, right? Reference...
No, you actually don't need to make it a reference because we're not modifying it. We're just reading from it.
Okay. Shit, wait, hang on. I thought if you made a reference to something in C++, then you... So if you make a reference... Okay, yeah, because you want to make a reference to the spot in memory. That's why you want the reference to modify it, right?
Yeah, and technically, right? Like
Because if you pass it in... Wait, hang on. If you pass it in as not a reference, then it's a read-only value, and there's no actual... You're not actually pointing it anywhere to the memory?
Yeah, we've copied it into the current scope, and like if we were really being like, if we were dealing with like complex objects, right? Like here we're dealing with a 1 byte value of a char, right? So we don't need to make it a reference at all. You know, like we can just simply copy it into C. It's not going to have a performance hitch. But if we were dealing with a more complex object, like let's say we had a stack of entities or something like that, you'd want to iterate it through it using like a const reference so that we're not copying it, you know, every iteration.
Okay.
But for a 1 byte value like this, it's not the biggest deal. But yeah, and then like here, right, we can do our check.
We want to check... Hang on, let me think. Wait, well, that's what we do. We want to check if the stack is not empty, right? So if stack dot... What is the value for this? What is it? Is it empty or empty?
Just stack dot empty.
But then you need the negation, right?
Yeah, we don't... Yeah, not stack empty.
And, right, we can use a word and, bro, because we're like goated like that. Stack dot top shit, what were we doing? We're referring to the top of the stack.
That's our first.
And the top of the stack is equal to first, right? The stack dot top is equal to first. Okay. Yeah, stack dot top is equal to first. And then we want to check right our current value, right? And C is equal to second.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. We then... What do we want to do here? So if it is that, we want to stack dot pop, right? We want to pop from our stack and then increase by our points, right? Increase our...
Right. Our score by our points.
Oh my god, dude, now I'm starting to realize that's why we call That's why we pass in a reference to score. Oh my god, dude, I'm so stupid, dude. I'm not stupid. It's done it all like.
Yeah,
It's
just
so
making sense.
okay, we're passing as a reference so that we can directly manipulate it from here, right?
Right, because then we pass it into it again for BA,
Right.
and like we want to have the.
That's
Yeah.
why I was creating here like an in points earlier, and I was like, oh, dude, like in points, you know, we're gonna need
Yeah.
it to like add it in this thing, and then I realized that we have that reference. Okay, I understand. Okay, so well, we just do like score plus or equal to points, right?
Yeah.
And then we have an else here. Now else here we check. Okay, well, there's nothing there. Then we just stack dot append or stack dot push. Push our char.
Yeah, stack dot push and then C.
Oh, should see. It should see. That's it, right? That's all we do. We just stack dot push.
Yeah, that's it. And then like
Then
now we have the case of if our stack isn't empty and we have a top value that's equal to first and a current value that's equal to second, we'll pop that first value, we'll increment our score, and then continue on to the next iteration. Otherwise, we're going to add the character and then continue on.
Oh, okay. This is the like a cleanup, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Where or yeah, right, because we need to pop the value. So like that's the inner if statement, and then the else is push. And then now, like we've built our stack. So now we just need to iterate through the stack and build our string. Technically, right, like you could use a deck here or a DQ, you know, whatever they're called, and just pull from the back of the stack so we could build our string in the correct order.
Okay, wait, I know what you're doing. Okay, now I understand, right? So you're saying we create an STD string, a result, right? And we pretty much just okay, right? Yeah. Okay, so how do I switch this? So what is it called? A DQ, right?
Yeah, you'd have to import it or include it.
What include DQ?
Yeah.
Okay, now sorry, I didn't think about this. Yeah, we need to return the result for our next pen, right? So we would go, okay, so shit, yeah, down here. We would go, okay, so while our
So also just you will need to change like the stack.top pop and push to like front, pop front and push front.
pop front, push front. Stack
And then I think stack.top should be stack.front.
Stack, what did you say it was? Stack dot what?
So on line 56, instead of like and stack.top equals first, I think it needs to be front.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so then we check here. Well, stack's not empty. We want to do result plus or equal to stack.pop. Pop back. Is that it?
Yeah? No, so you'd want to do plus or equals back and then pop back.
Plus or equal to back. What?
Yeah, so stack.back.
Oh, stack.back. Okay.
And then stack.pop back. Because then like we build the stack, you know, with the first and last out order, and then we do the last in first out order.
So it doesn't like this, right? What I have to do? There's no plus equals, like.
No. So you just want to do plus equals stack.back. That's what I'm saying. Plus like pop back is a void function.
Dude, I'm so confused. What are you saying? Pop stack.back like this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because that's how you get the back element,
and then pop. Is that what you're saying?
And then and then you pop.
Okay.
Because pop back is just a void function. It doesn't return anything.
Why am I getting an error here? Oh shit!
Because yeah. Nice.
Okay, right, and then we return our result.
So yeah, this should work. Uh, 1717.
Okay, yeah.
There we go.
Wow, dude, that was a lot to think about. That took probably way too long for that problem, but
I don't know. I think it went pretty well, to be honest. I think that you thought about it like in a very good way, to be honest. Yeah, I guess how long did it actually take?
I don't know. I think I would have solved it a lot quicker if I was writing in Python.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably like an hour, I would say, probably something like that. Shit, I think I have to get rid of this, right? This was very helpful. Dude, holy shit, what did I copy? If we want...
Wait, I think you copied up to the like first opening curly brace, right?
Yeah, I think I fucked it up. There we go.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, Reno, dude, that's true. Good thing about doing it in CPP is you need to be sure of what data types you're using. I agree, bro. I agree. Yeah, this was asked in a dude, we should do a this weekend. We should do a they do the Leecoding competition. You want to do one, bro? Low key.
Yeah, I'd be down. I'm not very good at league codes, but we could probably do pretty well.
I think we have to do it. I don't know. I think the rules are you have to do it by yourself, or else you get banned or something. So I think you have to do it, and I have to do it, and then we just like compare like what we thought or whatever. Like we'll see how we go. Like,
okay.
I think I don't know. I think when I looked at it one time, there's like rules around it. Like I don't think you can do it with someone else. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think anyone's really gonna fucking know. But like, I don't know. Like, who cares? Anyway, let's see what this was. Let's see what it's ranked at. It was a ranked problem. Bi-weekly contest 43. So if I go to the Discord. By the way, you guys should join the Discord. The link is in the chat. We talk about fun stuff on there. It's pretty cool. This is very helpful. Good thing about what position you want to get, mate. I'm just looking for like an entry-level development job. Don't have anything in specific what I want it to be, but I'm just kind of trying to broaden my skill set, you know. So, but yeah, let me check what this was really quick. What is this called? 50. This is probably a 1500 problem. Bro, no way. That was 1900 nearly.
It's a 1900 problem? No way.
That is a 1900 level problem. Wow. That's like 1900 Leecoding. That's what they rated it at. 1900.
That's kind of unbelievable.
I'm pretty sure that's 1900 is generally considered to be around average to above average and indicates a good level of efficiency in problem solving.
That makes sense.
I thought 2K I thought 2K was pretty high, low key. Like, but I don't know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. But
all right, well, good job.
Yeah, that was an interesting problem to think about though. Like, it was. We got there in the end, but it was definitely tough. Like, had to brainstorm a lot. But anyway,
yeah,
I'm gonna be. I'm working on a game. Still got to kind of figure out what exactly it's gonna be, but I'm gonna be streaming it this week. At the end of this week, I've just been getting the boilerplate code set up yet. I didn't. Let's open it. Actually, hang on. I'm using STL3. Doing it. Hang on. Yeah, this one. Setting up the boilerplate code for it. Setting up the renderer right now on the window.h. I think today I'm going to implement this game class right here. So don't take so long with the problem solving. Try to tackle making project for portfolio goal and advice because I made that mistake back in the days. Thank you, bro. Yeah, I do work on projects right now. this is my first C++ project. I'm gonna make some sort of game, so I still have to get the specific idea that I want to do. I kind of want to do a project that's probably like can probably take about a month to 2 months, where I can learn memory management in C++ and get comfortable with the language and everything. So that should be pretty fun.
Yeah, like OOP and stuff like that.
Yeah. But yeah, bro, it's day 170. You still get a job? I am trying to start. I'm not really looking for a job right now. Like, I'm still a student, but I just do this series for fun. I'm gonna start looking for a job next month for something in January. So, I just kind of did these videos for fun, just because I like programming, I guess. But yeah, appreciate you guys watching. Well, good luck, buddy. Hope you get what you want. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. Thank you, Rafiq. If you guys want to join the Discord, it's in the chat. I guess I'm kind of building a little community on here. We can talk about stuff and do whatever. So if you guys want to join that, would appreciate that. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow.